My name is Anushka Gandhi and today I'm going to give you 10 tips to score more in your IELTS speaking test. Now, very recently I got my IELTS test done and I scored a band of 7.5 in the speaking module with an overall score of 8. So I decided to sit down and jot down all the points which I think would be useful to score more based on my personal experiences. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started with this video. Number one is the repetition of words. Now, while you're sitting to give your IELTS speaking test, you need to make sure that you showcase a wide variety of vocabulary that you've got. Now, you're not supposed to repeat the same words again and again, so the examiner could make out that you do not have much knowledge about different words with similar meanings in English. So it's always better to not repeat the same word. Instead, show them how much of knowledge you've got in terms of English vocabulary. Number two is try to avoid using simple sentences. Now, I know simple sentences are easy to make and easy to say, but they won't help you fetch good scores. So the best thing to do is either use compound or complex sentences. Now, this will help the examiner to spot your ability to twist and turn these sentences using complex words and good vocabulary in order to form a good long sentence. So for example, if you're supposed to introduce yourself, just don't say my name is this, I live here, I work here. No, these are simple sentences. You could either say my name is this and my hometown is this. Although I am a student at the moment, but I also work part-time for this position. So this is how you could make either compound or complex sentences. Tip number 3 is to listen first and then speak. Most of the times we happen to ignore or misunderstand what the examiner is trying to ask. So it's always better to listen first, understand the question, and then start speaking. This will also give you a brief time to prepare yourself in your mind and then start speaking. So number 4 is cohesion and coherence. So your idea should stick to what the examiner is asking for and should be very clear. It should also flow very well and should not have an abrupt ending, meaning the examiner needs to understand that now you've ended, your answer is complete and you have not stopped halfway through. So there shouldn't be an abrupt ending. The idea should flow very well and should stick to the question. Number 5 is do not start right away. So as soon as the examiner asks you the question, please do not start right away because you don't know if she's finished asking you the question. So make sure she's completed, the question has been understood, and then only start. You can also take a brief pause before starting, but this pause should not be very noticeable. Now, you don't have to stop talking. You have to take a brief pause and then start. This will also give your brain to think about ideas for a bit. So number 6 is engage the examiner. Now, this was something which I personally used when I was not able to think of an idea upon the question asked. So if you happen to fall in a similar situation, you can use this trick. So for example, if the examiner asks you, what do you think about the global warming? And you're not able to think of anything, or you're not able to think of where to start with, you could use this. You could just start by saying, wow, that's an interesting question and I never thought of it before. But you know what I think? Global warming is, and so on. So this is how you engage the examiner, by starting off with saying this, and then you give your brain some time to think of idea and you think of what and how to answer the question. So number 7 is do not always use yes or no. For example, if the examiner asks you a question wherein you're supposed to give your opinion in terms of a positive or a negative response, do not always use words yes or no, because they would sound very basic and would repeat. So it would be a repetition and would be very basic, would not showcase your vocabulary. So you could always use the substitutes, such as if you want to say yes, you could rather use absolutely, certainly, of course, by all means, or surely. Again, if you want to say no, in that case you just have to add the suffix not to all these words. For example, absolutely not, or certainly not, definitely not, something like that. So number 9 is do not talk for too long. Now, when an examiner asks you a question, please try to keep your answers concise and stick to the point. Do not give elongated answers, because the examiner sitting there has many more interviews to do, has many more speaking tests to conduct, so she might not be interested in your backstory. So always stick to the point and stay concise. So tip number 10 is for those whose first language is not English. Now, we have a habit of talking in our mother tongue in our homes, with our friends and family. So this is a small tip which might help you speaking better during your exam. Now, as soon as you wake up on your day of your exam, try to start your day by speaking in English. Now, whomsoever you live with, just try to start your day by talking with them in English. Now, this will help to give your brain and tongue a command that you are supposed to talk and think in English for the rest of the day. So this will help you blend in well and start well while you speak for your IELTS speaking test. Now, this is a small tip coming from my personal experience. It did help me. I hope it does to you. Yeah, so these are all the 10 tips which I wanted to give you for your IELTS speaking test. These are coming from my personal experience. I hope you find them helpful. I hope you follow them. Again, if you do so, please consider to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and comment down below what you want to watch next. Have a nice day. Bye.